people in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Say, who are the people in your neighborhood? The people that you meet each day.
Hi boys and girls, welcome to Turn the Page Tuesdays. So now that it's almost time for bed, make sure that you take care of all of those bedtime routines. Parents, now's the time to pause your device for the children to be able to go ahead and do that. Hi boys and girls, so today we are at the Herr Corporate Center, and just a walk away is the Herr Potato Chip Factory. And I am here today with Mr. Ed Herr. Mr. Herr, how are you doing today?
Good, I'm good. Hi everybody.
So, Mr. Herr, can you tell us what you do in the community of Oxford and actually Nottingham?
Yeah. Well, one of the things I do is help make potato chips. So I work here at Herr's, and my job is, they call me the chairman of the board and CEO, which means Chief Executive Officer. And we make potato chips and pretzels and tortilla chips and cheese curls and popcorn and all kinds of things like that. So that's what I do for work. And then I also like to help in the community. So I help with things like the Lighthouse Youth Center, or I help with Oxford Main Street, trying to help revitalize our town. And we just believe in giving back to our community and helping out people that we are neighbors with.
Can you tell us how you got started in the potato chip factory industry?
Yeah, well, our company is 75 years old this year. So 75 years ago, actually my parents started this company up in Lancaster. And our company started with just one person, my dad. Mom helped him some, but he would make chips in a kind of a big black kettle by hand. He would slice the potatoes, put them in this oil, and then he was 21 years old. He and my mother, who was his fiance, that means they're going to get married, they would take the chips and sell them door to door in Lancaster. And so it started very, very small, and then everybody started eating more and more chips, and the business grew. And so today we make between 5 and 6 tons of potato chips every hour. That's how it started, though, years ago.
And so he started the Herr business. What made you decide you wanted to become part of that business?
Oh, well, when we were growing up, the potato chip business was right beside our house. And Dad and Mother always said, you don't have to work here, but if you want to work here, you can make money. I found out that I just loved working, and working is fun.
Do you have to know how to read to do your job as a CEO of a company?
Yeah. There's a lot of things to read. Sometimes people send you letters that you have to read just to know how to build relationships. Sometimes you have to read a presentation that's going to go to a customer to help you grow your business. Sometimes you have to read the news just to know what's going on around you, or you have to read magazines or articles on the internet that tell you about trends, and so you can keep up with what's going on and learn how to grow your business.
Do you ever name some of the flavors, or do you experiment yourself in what chip flavor to add to your line?
Yeah, I mean, we have these meetings all the time. Once a month I go to a meeting and we try all these different things. Like right here's one. These two that we just did. This is called a queso blanco, so this is a cheese flavored kettle chip. And this one is called loaded tots, so this is like little potato tots with cheese and onions and stuff on them. So anyway, I get to taste those and find out if they're, good. I don't usually make all the decisions, but I give them my opinion. But yeah, it's fun.
Is there a flavor you like the best?
I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that I like, but this is one of my favorites right now. This is a honey cheese curl.
You're selling to places in Nottingham and Oxford.
Right.
But you sell way beyond that. Where's the
Yeah.
farthest you think you sell to?
Well, a real far away place. So we sell chips not only in Nottingham and Oxford, we sell chips in Philadelphia, and we sell chips in New York City, we sell chips in Baltimore, places like that. So these places are all in what we call the Mid-Atlantic market. So that's all the states right around Pennsylvania, like New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, places like that, Ohio. We sell in all those states. And then we're actually selling chips in 49 countries. So we sell some chips in Australia and Egypt and places like that. And our company is the largest family snack food maker in America.
When you were growing up, you went through all of the Oxford schools.
Yeah, I went to Oxford schools, yeah.
So was Jordan Bank around at that time?
Jordan Bank was around, but I'm not sure we called it Jordan Bank back then. But I did go to school there because I remember my second grade teacher, Mrs. Stetler, was in that school.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed going to Oxford school. I always thought the teachers were very nice.
Do you like to read?
I do like to read. Words mean a lot.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I hear you are going to read to us about the inventor of the potato chip, possibly?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we can't wait to hear that book.
Okay, great. This is Mr. Crumb's Potato Predicament, and it's written by Anne Renaud and illustrated by Facilita Salah. Now, George Crumb loved to cook. He fricasseed, flambéed, boiled, braised, poached, and pureed. He made sorbets and soufflés and stews and succotashes and ragouts and goulashes. He made a lot of stuff. Here's a picture of Mr. Crumb. Looks like a nice guy. He's smiling when he cooks. Now, George loved cooking so much, his house ballooned with food. So he opened a restaurant called Crumb's Place, and he hired waitresses, and the waitresses had cheeks round as plums, named Gladys and a couple other people. This is the restaurant. It's called Crumb's Place. George cooked to his heart's content, and his customers devoured his concoctions. A concoction is like a mixture of food. Many consider George to be the best cook in the county. Here's all the people eating. That is until one day when George walked into a peculiar-looking patron. This person wore a purple polka dot hat and a sunflower on his lapel. This is him. Interesting looking guy. Filbert P. Horsefeathers is the name, he trumpeted. The P stands for punctilious. And I have a hankering for a helping of potatoes. Just potatoes, said Gladys. That's the lady with the round cheeks. Just potatoes, said Filbert. So, with a swish of his apron and a tap of his chef's hat, George got to work. He cut the potatoes into wedges, boiled them, fried them in a little bit of lard, that's oil, and sprinkled them with salt. That's almost the way we make potato chips. Then, Gladys set the potatoes in front of Filbert Punctilious Horsefeathers. Isn't that a funny name? Filbert speared a wedge with his fork and peered at it all from all sides. He looked at this potato. He said, "It's too thick," he said. Pursing his lips, he pushed the plate away. "Well, Huckleberry Biscuits," said Gladys. "The customer at table 5 is sending his potato plate back." Picky, 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 muttered George, who had never before seen a customer refuse his cooking. So, in the spirit of playfulness, George took some other potatoes and carefully balanced it on his chopping block. We're back to cutting potatoes. With his finest, sharpest knife, he slowly shaved into the thinnest, slimmest, and trimmest of slices. He heated a little bit of oil in his pan and he fried the slices until they were crispy. They crackled, and then he showered them with salt. Let's see how Mr. Horsefeathers fancies these spuds. Spuds is another word for potatoes, said George with a wink. With a wisp of a smile, Gladys set the plate down in front of Filbert Punctilious Horsefeathers. There's the potato chips. They look pretty good. Filbert turned his plate this way and then that way, and then he tried spearing one of the potato slices, but it splintered. So Filbert put down his fork, and with his fingers, he stacked the slices up of potato chips. Then he cracked one, and then he snapped one. Look. Only after that did he pop one into his mouth. Perfection. Perfection. And before you could say prickly porcupine pie, Filbert had munched, crunched, and gobbled up every last morsel. Look at the people looking at him. This is the first time anybody saw a potato chip. I guess the joke is on you, said Gladys, when she returned with the empty plate to George. Fire up that frying pan one more time. I want to try those for myself. So with a swish of his apron and a tap of his chef's hat, George did exactly that. Why, my taste buds are tap dancing, exclaimed Gladys after sampling George's new creation. Delectable, delicious, declared George after he, too, ate a few. I'll call them Crumbs Crisp Krispies and put a plateful on every table. Word spread, and before long, people from all over the county and far, far beyond were clamoring for George's new concoction, which came to be known as potato chips.
I hope you enjoyed that book by our special guest. Now it's time for bed. Good night, everyone. We'll see you in the morning.